Welcome to Here for More podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Krause, and this is the show where we're as passionate about personal growth as we are about saving the planet. We know that life's not just a list of boxes to check off, and we don't sit around just waiting for lightning to strike. We are action takers. We're proactive, passionate, and determined to massively impact this earth and the people on it. For as much as I've already learned throughout my own life, I know there's a lifetime more to go, which is why I'm taking this journey right alongside you. We can do the hard things we dream of. We can answer our soul's deepest callings, and we don't have to do it alone. Our journey towards greater purpose, fulfillment, and joy evolves just as we do. It starts right here, right now, and again tomorrow. This is what it means to be here for more.
Welcome back to Here for More podcast. It's your host, Natalie Krause, and I say every episode is special, but I would argue that this one is extra special for a couple reasons. So right now it is October 22nd when I'm recording this, and I'm recording it to go live on Monday, October 25th, which will be my 26th birthday. So today I'm bringing you a solo episode on 26 things I've learned in the past 26 years, which the theme, it feels a little cliche, but it also feels perfect because what a better time to reflect than right now. As I'm finishing out one year and starting the next, I sat down at my computer and with this idea in mind, like 26 things, like let's just see if I start typing what comes out. Oh man, I got 26 things out and more so fast. And so, yeah, I have it all written out for you, and I'll read through these 26 things and kind of add to them as we go. And there's so much more than just these 26 things, but these are the things that came first to mind. And it's funny because I actually wrote this about a week ago, and then I kept thinking of more things. And so I was like, okay, I can't, I'll edit it, but then I'll be done. And because I'll just keep thinking of more things. So the point is that no matter how old you are, no matter how many years you've been here, you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot more than you realize you've learned. You're probably pretty wise, so give yourself some credit there. It's definitely a pat on the back for myself. I was proud of what I came up with, and I'm excited to share it with you. So that's reason number one why this episode is special. Reason number two, this will be the last solo episode I record for a little bit, maybe for the rest of 2021. I have, after you listen to this episode, I have about 3 more interviews coming your way. And then Here for More podcast is going to take a little break. We're going to take the rest of the year off. At least that's the plan right now. We're changing every day, but that's the plan right now. And then we'll see what 2022 brings. I've got some exciting things in the works that it's too soon to talk about, but that is where I'm going to be putting my energy. And along with that, our retreat that's coming this December, I really want to focus on that, preparing good yoga classes for our guests and just making sure everything's organized there. So I'm going to be putting more energy focused on those different things. And which, by the way, we have about 4 spots left right now in our retreat. That's this December from the 11th to the 18th in Troncones, Mexico. We have 8 people signed up right now, and we're just so excited. I can't believe, because we've been planning this for now like 9, it will be 9 months, I think, or 10 months, more than that, because I was thinking about retreats long before we ever finally committed to hosting one. So it's been a long time coming. So we're very excited. The people that are already signed up are so excited, which gets me even happier. And just the reminder that, we can't complain. We'll be in San Diego for the winter. That's where our family is, or at least for the month of December, which is not too cold compared to the rest of the world, but still it gets chilly. So the reminder that we're going to get to go to this tropical paradise where it's warm ocean and surfing and yoga and delicious food. We're just so excited for it. So anyways, that's what's coming at the end of this year. got some other things in the works that are exciting. And so, yeah, the podcast is going to take a pause. It's been, oh my gosh, I don't know how many episodes exactly, but we're at the end of this year, we'll have almost like 75 episodes total, something around that, which just sitting and reflecting on that, wow, that's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of hours that have gone into each one of those episodes. And I'm really proud of that. And, the thought of taking a break, we get in this, I'm sure you felt this before, you get in this routine about like what you need to do, whether it's creating podcast episodes or creating posts on social media or sending out emails to your um, email list, like weekly, whatever the commitment is. Maybe it's a commitment you made to yourself, like I need to meditate or read or exercise or do yoga or whatever this many times a week. And then when it comes time to shifting away from that, that can feel, a lot of weird feelings can come up with that. Like, well, is that bad if I'm shifting away from this? Should I not? Like, do I just need to stick it out and keep pushing? But I think that that's a really important time to sit back and reflect on, why does this feel like I want to pause, or why does this feel like I don't want to do this as consistently, or whatever it is there. I haven't even started getting into my list of 26 things yet, but I'm just thinking about the fact that it was a big decision for me to jump back into weekly episodes with this show, and it's a big decision for me to put it on pause for a little bit. But ultimately, it's what feels right. Several months ago, it felt right to ramp up episodes, and I loved that I could do that. I loved all the feedback that I've been getting from it. It's been wonderful. And now it feels right to press pause and to take some space and then to resume when it feels good. So I just thank you for being here. If you've been here since the beginning, you're amazing. If this is the first episode you're ever listening to, you are still amazing. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of my world and for listening to me sit on my bed and chat into this microphone. We've been through a lot together, and wow, 26 years. Yeah, let's do this. 26 things in 26 years. So I'm just gonna, if you've been here for a while, that I can talk. So I'm going to do my best to just stick to my list so this doesn't turn into a super long episode, and just keep it short and sweet. And I'll expand on the ones that feel like they need some expanding. And hey, always, if there's something that sticks out to you in this episode, if there's something you had a question on, if there's something you liked, if there's something you disliked, come say hi to me on Instagram at Natalie J. Kraus. Tell me about it. If you've been liking this show and you're going to miss it, tell me that. If you are going to miss it and you definitely want it to come back in the future, tell me that too, because who knows what's coming in the future. But if I know you want this show, then that's much more likely that it will be returning. All right, enough on that. 26 things in 26 years. Let's do this. Number 1, life moves fast. It's happening right now. Embrace the season you're in. You'll never have another one like it. Those things on your bucket list, in the blink of an eye, you'll wonder why you still haven't done them and where the time went. Do them now. Number 2, life is long. It moves fast, but it's still a lot of years. Take care of yourself. Pace yourself. Be in this for the long haul. AKA, quit thinking about retirement when you're in your 20s and 30s. That's not a perfect age range, but I hear people that are in my age group that are already talking about, oh, I can't wait till I retire. And there's it's one thing to just throw that around and be excited for it, but it's another thing to be actively living for that day when you still got quite a few years before you get there. So, you know, figure out how to live more in the moment, and figure out how to live a bit of that lifestyle right now, that retirement lifestyle that you're fantasizing about. Why are you fantasizing it? Is it because it'll lead to more travel, more freedom, more fun? How can you integrate that into your life right now? Because you can. You just have to choose to. All right, number 3. People come into your life at different times for certain seasons. It's okay to let them go as seasons change. It's okay to let those friendships look different at different times. The people that you really, really love that are worth holding on to, make that effort to stay connected. And vice versa. If they reach out to you, respond to them. I'm all about detoxing from your phone and getting off social media, but make an effort for those friendships that matter to you. It's a two-way street there. Number 4, communication is everything. That's all I wrote for this one, but I think it's self-explanatory, but for real, in your relationships, your personal ones, with your family, with your friends, with your doctors, with your nutritionist, whatever, whoever you're working with, communicate. If something's not working for you, voice it, even if it's just first voicing it to yourself. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Number 5, boundaries. Learn what they are for you and stick to them. Be disciplined with that. You're going to keep figuring it out every year you get older. And this is why I love getting older. Ask me in the future, maybe I won't love getting older anymore right now. I can't see that happening, but I love getting older because every single year I learn more about myself. I learn more about what I love and what I don't love, what I need in my life and what I don't need in my life. And I learn what those boundaries are. So where, I maybe in the past would have let someone kind of walk over me, now I know better. And I'll learn something else here at 26. That's a new boundary. And I'll learn something else the next year and every year after. Boundaries. Be disciplined with them. You will love yourself for it. I just edited a podcast episode for someone else the other week, and the speaker on that was talking about boundaries. She actually has like a brand or a part of her brand that's called Bitches Have Boundaries. I know we never say swear words on this show, but that's what it's called, because so often, especially I think for women, when we set those boundaries, we get called a bitch. And the reality is that's just us knowing ourselves and respecting ourselves and the ones we love enough to say no or to draw that line. So hey, if that's what they call you, fine, but you'll be happier for it because you won't be walked all over. All right, number 6, your life is up to you. Do what you want. Do what makes sense to you, not what makes sense to others. I went through a lot of that growing up, through high school especially, trying to do what made sense to others. It doesn't matter. It's not. They don't have to live the life. You do. So do what makes sense to you. And then, this is number 7, remember that you don't need to justify yourself. I heard this in a podcast episode the other week as well, that if you're finding the need to justify everything you're saying, when you know that deep down it's your truth, there's some healing that needs to happen there. And this is a great reminder for me because I still do this. I start to justify or explain like what it is that I'm doing or pursuing, and it needs to make sense to them. It doesn't. It only needs to make sense to you. You do not owe an explanation to anyone. Number 8, you're stronger than you think. Again, self-explanatory. Don't need to explain, right? But really, you are. And I was just thinking about this the other day as I was sipping on my morning matcha latte, which I have been a coffee lover for years. I still love coffee. And it's something that as I learned more about myself and my body and my hormones and my cycles, if you haven't listened to the episode a couple back with Maddie Miles about hormone health, please go listen to it, especially if you identify as a menstruator. But caffeine affects our cycles so much. And so I've been doing my best to kind of work away from that. And so going back to the whole you're stronger than you think, I never thought that I would be one to give up coffee. I and I didn't want to like have that restriction, like I can't have coffee. And so I don't tell myself that at all. But I started I switched to decaf a while back, just having only decaf because I still love the flavor. I loved having a warm drink. But then recently I started having more matcha, which was not something I loved at first. But matcha with oat milk, oh man, I just kept working on like the ratio and the recipe, and I love it now. Now in the mornings after I've had breakfast, I crave that. I don't even crave coffee. So The point is these things that you say like, oh, I could never do that. You probably could. You just have to want it enough. You have to want to make that change enough. You're stronger than you think. You can do a lot more than you realize. All right, number 9. You'll keep changing every year. Your interests, passions, your brain, everything changes. Embrace it. Let go of what no longer serves you. Embrace new passions as they come. This is exactly what I was talking about before I started recording this. You're changing all the time. The thing that you liked 10 years ago is not going to be the same thing that you like 10 years from now. So, along with this, if you have a partner or a best friend or a roommate or whatever your situation is, they're going to keep changing too. So let them. And this is especially true for a partner and in a relationship. I'm finding this with Jess. We've been together almost 10 years now. The most beautiful love, I think, comes from two people who can continue to change as individuals while growing closer and closer together each year. So let the changes happen. That's how you're going to keep growing and evolving and becoming that best version of yourself, and let them change too. And then figure out how to navigate that together. Number 10, think about the future, plan for it, but also live for today. I like to be spontaneous, but I also like to plan. And you can have both. You can have both. So, be aware of what's coming, of the things, that maybe like don't go spend all your money because you don't have a mortgage yet. You might have a mortgage one day, right? But also live for today. Like order the avocado on top of your burger. Take the trip. Take the time off work. Think about the future, plan for it, but also live for today. 11. We already covered you're stronger than you think. Here we have you're smarter than you think. Those high school grades and SAT scores don't mean shit anymore. I know, more swearing than usual, right? That might not be super relevant for you. It is super relevant for me because I struggled with my high school grades and SAT scores. And they weren't even that bad of scores, but compared to my peers, compared to a lot of other people, they were not great. Compared to what colleges were looking for, they were not great. And that was really hard on me because that told me that I wasn't smart, that I wasn't as smart as other people. And I know now that that is absolute BS. I'm very smart, and I keep amazing myself every day. I don't know everything by any means, but I know a lot and I can do a lot, and you can too. All right, 12. You will never get there. You will never have it all figured out. So celebrate as you go. Embrace lifelong learning. That's what keeps you young at heart and fulfilled. 13. Other people's opinions and responses are more about them than they are about you. Don't take things too personally. 14. If you think it's a good idea, go for it. See what happens. If it sucks, you'll learn. If it's amazing, thank goodness you listened to your gut. 15. It's never too late to start. In fact, you should keep starting. A beginner's mind is a fresh, creative, abundant mind. That's a muscle that you need to work, that creativity. So keep starting over. Keep being a beginner. 16. This one's good. Hustle culture sucks. It sucks. I'm doing air quotes, this is how many hours I had to work today, or I had to work from this time to this time, and oh my gosh, you've been at your desk for 12 hours. I was at my desk for 16 hours. This competition is not worth participating in. It's not a badge of honor. It's the worst. If you can work less hours each day and spend the rest of your time doing things you love, which if you're working that many hours, you might not even know what things you really love. But if you can work less and figure out what fun hobbies, time with your family, what exercise, those kind of things you can fill your time with, do it. There's no need to feel weird or guilty about admitting how you only need to work 2 hours a day or less. Own it. If you've gotten to that point, maybe you've beat the system. That's all I need to say there. Hustle culture is real and it's toxic. So if you can work less, do it and feel damn good about it. And don't listen to any of the, I was going to say Karens, but I know some really sweet Karens in my life. So I don't know if that's a fair word, but for lack of a better term, like don't listen to the Karens because again, that's their life. They can work 16-hour days. You can work your 4-hour days and love it. All right. 17. Going off of that, there are a million ways to make money. Do it legally, however you want. Explain yourself to no one. For real, so many ways to make money. If you hate your job, leave your job. Leave your job. There's so many jobs, okay? So many ways. All right, 18. You are not for everyone. That's okay. Be yourself. There are others who will love you for it. Those are your people. 19. For everything you love, there will always be someone else that hates it. Who cares? This is your life, not theirs. I'm sure you're seeing kind of a pattern in here, a lot about coming into your own, owning yourself, your boundaries, right? Owning the things that are really important to you. But I think that's really important to hone in on because while I think that surfing and living on Oahu and vegan food are the best things ever, I know that there are people who would strongly disagree with me. The reality is, it doesn't matter. There will always be those people. And instead of trying to take those people and change their minds, let them live their life. Manifest more of the people that love the things that you love into your life. When you own yourself, more of it shows up into your life. Number 20, nourish your body, mind, and soul with longevity in mind. So this is going back to the whole life is long idea. Fuel and care for yourself with the intention that you're planning to live a long and healthy life. None of this, I'm here for a short time, or I'm here for a good time, not a long time. No. I mean, fine. If that, again, if that's how you want to live, fine. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But if you want to be healthy for your entire life, because that's something too, is that you could live to 90 or 100, but how many of those years there at the end were quality years? How many years were you struggling with your health? How many years were you on the decline? I don't want to do that. I want to live to 100 or whatever healthy, active, spirited, joyful. I want to see my kids grow all the way up. I want to see their grandkids grow up. That sounds amazing to me. So as a result, I need to take care of my body, my mind, and my soul right now with the intent that I'm going to live a long life. So if those things are important to you, start living that way. All right, 21. Plants are the best. You knew I couldn't get through this episode without highlighting plants. If you don't know me, I've been vegan for over 3 years now, and it's the best thing, besides my husband, to come into my life. Plants are the best. Grow more of them, eat more of them, love more of them. Take care of the planet so that there will continue to be abundant sources of them. More plants is the best life hack you'll ever find. That's a scientific fact. You can look it up. 22. It's a big world out there. Go see it. You're not getting any younger. That kind of goes back to the life is short, the opposite. Those things that are on your bucket list, you got to go do them. You go find a way. It's not when you retire. It's not when you get a vacation week next year. Like, figure out how to work them into your schedule right now. And yes, you can't do everything right now, but I bet there's some things that are on your list that you could be planning that you're not. So it's a big world. If you have a desire to see it, which it's pretty cool to get out and go see it, start planning it now. And on that note, number 23, you can make it happen. Whatever it is, whether it's more travel, whether it's finding a new job, whether it's losing the weight, whether it's quitting your addiction, whatever it is, you can make it happen. It's too hard, my ass. If it's important enough, you'll find a way. There is always a way. I was just reading in a book this morning. I'm reading a book called The Power of Moments. It's really awesome. I'm only like 60 pages in, but it's good so far. But they tell a story of someone who finds out they have terminal cancer with 3 months to live. And in those 3 months, he makes all these moments. by getting together with the people that are important in his life, and he starts really with like a wide circle, of like colleagues, and then starts to get narrower and narrower to neighbors, and then friends, and then family, and just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and has meetings with all of these different people that are really special, and creates all these moments. And at the end of his life, he says, I lived more in those 3 months than I'd lived in the past 5 years. And I don't know if I would have done that if I didn't have this terminal diagnosis. So I hope it doesn't take a terminal diagnosis for you to get to that, to have that motivation. But the point is, you can make it happen. So quit saying you're too busy. Quit saying it's too hard. Make it happen. If it's important enough, you'll find a way. Kind of felt like he plateaued, and he felt like there was more for him somewhere else. And real estate was something that was really fascinating to him. And he was taking the plunge. That's okay. What's wrong with that? Why can't that be normalized? And if he gets into real estate and discovers that he hates it, oh well, at least he tried. Because if he didn't try, that he would still be thinking about that for probably, the rest of his life. So anytime you want, you can make a change. 25. You'll be okay. No matter how hard, you'll get through it. And you'll be better for it. Keep going. 26. You won't figure out who you truly are, what you're really passionate about, and what your purpose in life is without searching for it. Start looking. Start trying things. Keep trying things and keep going. That's my 26. That's my 26. And I have one more little paragraph, I guess, that I wrote. Just, one more for good measure, and one more thing that I kind of thought of as an afternote. When you step into your power, people will see the real you. Some will feel uncomfortable. You might feel uncomfortable. Do it anyway. I used to feel uncomfortable whenever people told me and Jess, that we were living the dream. And this has happened quite a few times now, that people will say that we're living the dream. And I used to feel like I needed to make myself smaller. Like I needed to kind of dismiss it. It felt awkward. Like maybe I didn't want anyone else to feel less about their own life, or like I had it any easier. I wanted to make sure people knew I still worked hard, when in reality, that was not the point. I realized that that is exactly what I'd been looking for, not to have someone else tell me that I'm living the dream, but to be living my dream, to be living life exactly according to my terms. So now when people say that, I take it as a compliment. Yes, we are living the dream, our dream, that is. And it's because we decided to, because we decided what was important to us, what those dreams looked like, and there's new ones coming up every day. And then we directed ourselves towards them. We worked towards them. And it wasn't just about like working our butts off. It can be annoying when someone's like, I just worked really hard and then I got it. Like, I don't want to say that, but we wanted to be living in Hawaii, and so we just started to direct our lives in a way that would allow us to do that. We wanted to build and live out of a van, and so we had to direct our lives in a way that would allow us to do that. We had to figure out how to work remote. And there was a lot of sacrifices in there, and there was a lot of hard times, but we knew what we wanted to do. And we knew that just staying where we were at was never going to get us to there. There was a lot of things that needed to happen and come together. So, yeah, we are living our dreams as they evolve, one day, one step at a time. We're not sitting around waiting to make them happen. And that is a perfect way to wrap it up in these past 26 years. Yeah, don't sit around and wait. Those things that you really want, they might take time to get there, whatever it is. So start working on them right now. And have fun. And be kind. And give people the benefit of the doubt, especially the people who cut you off on the freeway or whatever. They could be in a rush somewhere. It's not worth it to get so upset, Just be kind. Those things that you want into your life, more joy, more kindness, more happiness, more fun, that's what you put out, and that's what you get more back. All right. Well, thanks for being here with me for 70 something episodes and for my 26th birthday. And stay tuned for the next 3 weeks of episodes that I have releasing. They're all great. I would never put something out that's not great. And then come say hi to me on Instagram, because we'll be taking a little pause on episodes after that. So since this is my last solo episode with you for a while, I can't believe it's already like almost the holidays. So happy holidays to you, however you celebrate those. And yeah, I'm still around. So yeah, stay in touch. Thank you so much for listening to Here for More podcast. Till next time.